Okay, so this video is for Delta Mike X-Ray. He asks, should I centralize my smelting? I'm about 10 hours in and regretting it. So I would say just, the short answer is no. The long answer is there's these kind of questions will come up over and over again, kind of like what do you bring to one central location and what do you not? The general rule of thumb that I use is the closer it is to the beginning, the closer the process is to pulling ore out of the ground, pumping oil out of the ground, pumping water, etc., the closer something is to the primary source, the less it's needed to be centralized. Because it's going to take more effort to move all that stuff, because generally at the ore stage, you just have a lot more pieces to move. As an example, even just with iron plates, let's say, for iron plates, you get 2 iron plates for every 3 ingots, right? So then already you have 33% less you need to move around. So that's kind of like, this save is all about that. If you look around, that's a smelting array, that's a smelting array, alien SAM ore processing, this is concrete. All those primary steps, the first steps, are done at close to the source. So there's Caterium, right? And then, because I like little sugar cube trucks, I have them all trucked in for the most part. Some of them are belted if they're close, like that guy there. If, as an extreme example of what you're talking about, centralizing, for the same reason you wouldn't use drones to move ore around because it's incredibly inefficient, you're not getting any benefits from centralizing your ore smelting. There's just not a lot of benefit to it, unless that's the thing you want to do. There's just not really a wrong way to play the game, but since you're asking the question, you're seeing you're clearly seeing the downsides of that approach. This is another thing you really want to think about later on too, is what do you really want to centralize? And that comes down to what kind of a factory you're building. Are you building one mega factory? Or are you taking what's probably the more efficient approach, which is building stuff locally as much as you can, and then transporting that in some way to a main location like a workshop or a depot or whatever. In this case here, this is not done yet, I gotta do the top. This is a mega factory, so everything here will eventually be made on site from things that are basically second order materials. So basically one step away from ore or crystals or water. That all comes in here. So quartz becomes quartz crystal, silica. Quartz crystal also becomes silica, copper ingots, aluminum ingots, iron ingots, concrete. All the stuff that's one step away from it being pulled out of the ground. A couple of exceptions to that. This is I do steel ingots as well, but I did put steel bars in here because, man, they are just really, really useful. And here's the first SAM ore kind of primary item. Eventually, we will also have SAM ingots coming in here. But in this way, the stuff that's going to take up a lot of room, like all the smelters and all that stuff, foundries, that stays out of here because it's not really, it doesn't need to be here. It's messy. It spews a lot of smoke, which I don't really like. And then the fun bits are here. So you take in ingots to make the iron plates, right? And these come from our foundries out there in our huge belt bus right there. So then the fun stuff is all in this factory here. The things that you're going to want to tune, right? You may want to tune the inputs and outputs of these. This is a one long assembly line for, what is this for? These are the primary, these are the secondary, actually tertiary. So this is, these are not feeding into each other, but if we go up a level, I think they are. Transportation system is broken here, so I have to hover. Yeah, so up here, we're making the next level stuff, right? So this is a component for stators that we're making down there, and the stators that we're making are going to our supply depot. That's that symbol there, and to make rotors. Oh, sorry, to make motors. So all these kind of fun things that you're going to want to tune around and everything. That is all within the main mega factory. But I have another factory that I did it a different way, where I basically did modular factories all over the place. Let me think. What was that? I think it's not that one. Gonna have to have more than 170 hours. Cell factories. Yeah, this is my first attempt at cell factories. Actually, here, what I can do this one, I can show some factories that are kind of self-contained and quote-unquote on-site. Ooh, that's good coffee. And I think I showed this in another video. I'm pretty sure I did. I might have to pause it once I get in here in case we're pretty far away. Let's see, where are we? Oh yeah, we're a ways away. Okay, I'm going to pause it real quick, and so you don't have to worry about me getting there. Okay, so this is an extreme version in the other direction, where everything is built on site and then belted in, essentially. You can see basically all the iron ore is pulled out right there. Sorry, the copper ingots, and then the ingots go to make wire and cable. Down there, I think that's steel production for beams and pipes. This is all concrete, and then way down there, I think, is all oil products. And you can see it's all belted in. So this is the other extreme, right? No centralization. I just kind of wanted to do this to see what it was like. It was pretty cool. I think this was a very early version of this. I unfortunately lost the later versions, which were much more built out. Yeah. Back up your saves, folks. One thing I will say that makes a lot of sense to do, and almost makes no sense ever to centralize, is your power. You want to build your power around the resources that fuel that power, for sure. There's no reason to have those in your centralized area, because once they're set up, if they're set up correctly, they take care of themselves. They should take care of themselves, let's put it that way. So yeah, that's definitely exciting. You see here, like I literally got on this kind of belt craze. So yeah, it's another way of doing it. There's no real wrong way to play. I've tried both ways. I've enjoyed doing both. Here you can see other things are being belted in from out west. Yeah, so again, it's really comes down to like what you like doing and how you like to play. Ooh, this is really early on. By the way, so how I do a lot of my factories, I basically just lay out the factory bits on foundations, and then I delete the foundations and make it look nicer. That's kind of pretty much it. So let's see where this goes. Oh, I think I had aluminum out here or something. Oh yeah. All right. Well, anyway, hopefully that was helpful. I didn't ramble too much.